Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to the Clan. And so without further ado, let's get into this video. And you guys already know what to do. Smash the like button so that we can go and fetch more members of the Clan. They don't know that there are members of the Clan yet. Let people also enjoy this content that we put out here. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. Oh, subscribe and watch the ads as well. Thank you so much. Let's get into the video. So, at the North High Court, the Senzo Meyiwa murder retrial, I did not watch the first half because I was really busy today and also load shedding. You guys already know this. But after lunchtime, this is where I caught up and I saw that Advocate Mnisi was on the floor. And so he kind of like stopped the proceeding for a little while and he said, I don't know because I did not watch the first half. Apparently, the witness mentioned something about handwritten notes for his affidavit, and so Advocate Mnisi said, I cannot cross-examine this witness without first seeing the original notes because there are some contradictions that he was hearing while the witness was being questioned by Advocate Steve Ramasipili. Hey, I got it right. And then, so he was like, there's no way that I'm going to cross-examine this witness until I get to see the original notes that he was talking about. Whoa, that kind of caused drama in the court because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if the witness kept saying things that are not in this affidavit that he's busy with in court, and then he's referring to his handwritten ones, then of course we need to have the handwritten ones because those are the original notes for his affidavit. And also the other thing that I keep asking myself, why all this drama? Because I will tell you something that I saw from the judge that I also did not like is the fact that he then took over this entire situation because I think he wanted to put it under control regarding the statement that is typed that is currently in court. And so he wanted to know from the witness how this statement was compiled and who is Gininda, because apparently I'm not sure if Gininda was the commissioner or the commissioner of that affidavit was someone else. So he went through the affidavit, and then there was a page that was not signed, but he was looking for the signature of the witness in all of these pages because I think if you are going to certify, in order to make the affidavit authentic, they got to be the signature of the person that is making that statement. So, of course, there were some discrepancies that the judge also picked up, that the witness himself tried to explain away about names got mixed and names being put in place where they were not supposed to be put in place. And I'm thinking you are bringing this to a court of law where people's lives are affected and we have a dead person that we are seeking justice for, and you are bringing a messed up statement? No, bring the originals. Because that, I agreed with Advocate Mnisi that I bring the originals so that we get to see what exactly was reflected on the originals rather than this typed one. But one thing that I did not like about the judge was how he was actually leading the witness about his compilation of the affidavit. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, wait a minute. The whole reason why the court adjourned the day before yesterday was because the statement was given to the defense at the 11th hour. And then we learned that that statement, that typed one that is in court, that is so messed up, was compiled on the 31st of May, 2023. 9 years and 7 or 8 months later. And now you are telling me that the judge did not remember that situation that happened on Wednesday? Come on, because he should have asked the state or asked the witness, but your statement was compiled on the 31st of May. Surely you have all these notes that compiled this typed statement. But the judge was just leading him and saying, yeah, that's because the statement is yours. You have everything in your head. And I'm thinking, are you trying to admit this statement, the one that is in court today, because this is the author of that statement is in court, and yet he's telling you that, oh no, there's a mistake here and there's a mistake there. And then the judge even attempted to admit this statement into evidence. But Advocate Mnisi was like, no, we're not going to have this. We are now going to have this. The court needs to give us a directive as to how we are going to go about with this statement. So now let's go back to the 31st of May 2023. You are telling me that suddenly all your notes are scattered all over the place. Some are in KZN, some are in your protection, whatever it is that is on, some are in your office. What's going on? If this statement was put together on the 31st of May, surely all your notes would have been before you while this statement was being compiled. Now, how is it fair to the accused that now we have this statement that is already messed up and the originals are all over the country, and then you expect them to believe that the typed statement is the one that is going to determine whether they are guilty or not guilty? No, come on. And how is that going to serve justice in Senzo Meyiwa's death if there's miscarriage of justice in terms of the witnesses actually walking free, when in fact they could have been the one that killed Senzo Meyiwa, or 5 innocent people will end up in jail because of a statement that was all messed up and was admitted into court? I don't understand that. I didn't understand that part from the judge, because I always hold the judge at a very high esteem when it comes to his intelligence. And then he's also, he always says, you know, I listen, I remember things. How come he did not remember that this statement was actually compiled on the 31st of May 2023? That part I didn't understand. And the other thing that quite irritated me was Advocate Baloyi, when he does what he always does to the defense. He undermines them intellectually. He takes the position of intellectual superiority over his colleagues, and then he was just brushing things off like, no, this is neither here nor there. Now let's proceed. How do you tell the court to proceed when there's a judge sitting up there? And secondly, your witness, his statement is a mess, and now you do not want the originals to be brought. But then again, I'm asking myself, okay, suppose now that he's given permission to go to KZN with an army of police, which I still think that's correct, because I also fear for his safety. I'm talking about the witness. I do fear for his safety, and I think it's important that he is in the protection unit of the SAPS together with his family. But at the same time, I'm also afraid that even if he does have this contingency plan, we don't want anything happening to him that is going to collapse the defense of the 5 accused. Because I personally, me, Clantis Dumakude, I am saying here, there are 6 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa on the 26th of October 2014 that knows the truth as to what had happened to Senzo Meyiwa. Because, come on guys, we already heard the evidence that was submitted. We already heard about the crime scene being contaminated with. We already seen that the police did a crappy job in ensuring that justice is served. And we already know that, or suspicion, that the bullet head that was found behind the glass jars was not the original one. We already know, okay, not that it's not original one, that it was probably planted. And we also know that 2 witnesses said the gun that killed Senzo Meyiwa had a wheel. Now we have 2 guns. One is a 9mm and the other one is a revolver. And I'm thinking to myself, which one was it? Which one was it? Because even this current witness say, when these 3 people came from killing Senzo Meyiwa, allegedly, he only checked the revolver, and there were no bullets in the wheel, but he did not check the 9mm. So I'm not quite sure what is going on and why the judge is entertaining this instead of making a ruling and tell the state, can you bring the originals of the statement so that we can proceed? So this entire process that happened on the second half of today's proceedings, I think they are quite questionable to me. And another thing that I would do if I was Bomnisi, as well as the other defense attorneys, lawyers, I would make sure that on Monday, when this witness does bring the originals to the, I'm using air quotes here because we don't know if he's going to bring the real ones or he's going to cook them up. If they can also have like a paper and writing experts who will be able to tell whether, an independent one for that matter, an independent one, who will be able to tell when these notes were written. Were they written now? Were they written months ago? Were they written years ago? Because that science does exist. what we call those people called again. I can't remember what they are called, and if I remember, I'm going to write them on the screen. That we need to know that. We need to know that indeed these are originals. It's not something that was cooked over the weekend so that the court will now say, okay, now we have the originals. Can we proceed for progress? No, I'm sorry. At this point, I don't trust anything that is coming from Advocate Baloyi because he is desperate, guys. He is desperate to revive his case. The case died. And now he's just waiting for a witness that is going to come, take the stand, and revive his case. And he thinks that this is it. This guy could be the one that is going to revive his case. And only then he will be able to call all the witnesses that are on his list, the ones that we want on the stand. Now that this guy who got these 5 people arrested because he had placed them under the same roof and not too far away from the Khumalo house as well on the fateful night Senzo Meyiwa was killed. So anyways, those are my thoughts. And guys, please, you can come for me if you want. I am not shaken or moved about the 6 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa on the 26th of October 2014. And I still believe that one of them killed Senzo Meyiwa accidentally. I'm not saying it was intentional. It was accidentally. And I've been holding this position since 2015 when I abandoned this entire case, when I realized that, okay, Senzo will never get justice. And here we are, almost 10 years later. Almost 10 years later. So anyways, I'm sorry, anything that Advocate Baloyi is bringing right now, I do not trust it. And there was somebody that tried me during the day today. And I said, listen, I'm unshaken or moved. You can call me anything and everything under the sun. I'm not going to be moved. You can accuse me. You can accuse me of hating people. I don't hate anybody. I have no hate in my heart. But I can tell you when I'm rubbing my 2 IQs together that this does not make sense. If that does not sit well with you, then that's your problem, not mine. I keep it moving. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that is super thanking my channel because I have turned on the super thanks. Thank you for supporting this channel financially. I highly appreciate it. It makes a lot of difference. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what did you think about the proceedings, because now the court adjourned until Monday because now we have to go and look for originals of the statement in KZN and everywhere else. Anyways, guys, also share this video far and wide. I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.